From full dining rooms and grand relaunches
It's better than my mom's. She's Italian. So good.
to a rise in one-star reviews soon after, here are restaurants from kitchen nightmares that actually got worse after Gordon Ramsay's help, starting with Dillan's, a restaurant that was trying to be too many things at once. The menu jumped from burgers to Irish classics to Indian food, and it all felt kind of thrown together.
I think people are a bit confused as to like what kind of restaurant this is.
Because of that confusion, the dining room was usually empty, and the restaurant was losing a lot of money.
For last 6 months, we are losing like $20,000 to $30,000 a month. I cannot continue losing money like this.
Then there were other problems too, especially in how the place was run.
I'm the general manager.
I'm the operations manager.
And I'm a floor manager here.
Despite having 3 managers, there was no one truly in charge. Service was sloppy, and that became obvious when Ramsay's vegetarian order wasn't exactly what it was supposed to be.
There's meat in there. That one's got meat in there. It's not vegetarian. It tastes like lamb.
If he were a vegetarian, I would expect a lawsuit.
Behind the scenes, things were far worse than anyone expected. And once inspections and hidden cameras revealed what was happening in the kitchen, it explained why customers never came back.
Moldy. That is quite frankly the worst hamburger I've ever seen in my entire life.
What is that? Is that for rats or mice?
Food for the catch a rat.
So we have got rats here.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Look at that!
Everything reached the point where Ramsay had to put a stop to the whole thing before one more person ate the food and got sick.
No one is getting served from this restaurant tonight. Let's make that clear. Can you go and tell them that the kitchen is closed? Right now. Out there and tell them the truth. Tell them now.
Ramsay's first step was a full reset, beginning with a new name and following it up with a makeover inside. Then the old menu was thrown out and replaced with a modern Indian lineup. At the same time, a professional cleaning crew stripped the place down and scrubbed every surface, where all the rotten food was tossed. Things finally settled on the management side when the general manager stormed off mid-argument.
I quit.
With more stable leadership and a complete makeover, the doors reopened, and customers enjoyed the experience a lot more.
I would say that this chicken tikka masala would rival any chicken tikka masala in England. How did you like it, Whitney? It was really good.
The restaurant's revenue increased.
Money started coming in, and on paper, it looked like the turnaround had stuck. But keeping that level of effort turned out to be harder than reaching it. All of this took place in March 2007. And just a few months later, online reviews showed that the restaurant was still struggling despite the boost from Ramsay's help. One reviewer wrote, 3 years ago when I went in, I remember I really enjoyed the experience and the food. Tried the restaurant this year since I'm a fan of Indian food. The prices are a bit outrageous. The food is good, but not great. Also, there were flies in the bar area and not a lot of customers. I think this place is on its way out. If it's not, it should be. What a shame. With more negative reviews coming in, the restaurant's Yelp rating dropped to 2.5, showing that Ramsay's help didn't prevent the decline. Eventually, the restaurant could not continue and closed its doors for good in 2009. Following Dillan's closure, the location became home to the Grizzly Pear. Dillan's brief comeback showed that turning things around is easier said than done, and in Nashville, another restaurant learned that lesson the hard way. Chappy's, a Cajun restaurant, was owned and operated by Chef John Chappy Chapman and his wife Star. When the restaurant relocated to Nashville, the plan was a fresh start, but things didn't go well, with customers often sending their plates back to the kitchen. When Gordon arrived for a taste test, things immediately raised some eyebrows.
Wow. It looks like Chappy took a crappie in my gumbo. It's like a puddle. It's just watery. Really watery.
During service later that evening, Gordon noticed the fish and red meat were being cooked in the same pan, and he even had to bring over a diner to show why it was a problem.
Let me explain something really important, because I'm not fucking around now. This lady is a pescatarian, strictly fish. What I'm trying to explain, because you're not listening, is that her fish was cooked in there along with the beef. Do you get sick on meat?
Oh, very.
I'm sorry.
But that wasn't all. Other stuff Gordon discovered in the freezer was even worse.
Sat absolutely stinking. Oh my God, look at that. What in the fuck is that? There's a shrimp hanging down there. That's all mold. Unbelievable.
While Ramsay criticized the careless kitchen practices, Star kept jumping in to defend her husband.
1 foot away from that shit down there.
Which he obviously didn't know was down there.
What?
Well, do you think he would have let it stay down there if he knew it was there?
Oh, so he couldn't see it?
It took some arguing, but Chappy eventually accepted that the restaurant had to change, so Gordon and his crew worked through the night to fix it. Still, while Star and the staff members were very impressed, Chappy didn't seem too happy with how it turned out.
It's not my style, but I was just kind of grin, bear it,
move on.
Despite everything, the relaunch happened, and diners seemed very happy with the changes. There was a sense that the owner had initially reached the turning point, and for a brief moment, it seemed like Ramsay had truly turned things around for good.
Come here, you. Huh? Good luck to you both.
Thank you.
Take care.
But that optimism did not last very long. Almost as soon as the cameras left, the owner started pushing back against the changes. As old habits returned, the ratings dropped again, and online reviews at the time made it clear just how bad things had become. One person wrote, "The food was horrible, and the prices were outrageous. Spent $120 for a bunch of bad-tasting food. Chappy was not accommodating when we complained. He only said, 'sorry,' and walked off. Made no effort to rectify the horrible food. Others in the party complained to the hostess, and her response was, 'thank you,' when she was told that the food was bad. Total sarcasm. Don't go there. This place needs to be shut down and probably will be soon." As a result, Yelp ratings sit at 2.9 stars, as negative reviews continue to pile up. Meanwhile, Chappy remained stubborn, and in one interview, he even claimed that Gordon had wrecked his business. In the end, the business collapsed for reasons that went beyond bad reviews. The property was seized by the state due to unpaid taxes, which shut the doors down for good. When changes don't stick, ratings can take a nosedive fast. Not far from Nashville, a different restaurant would soon see the same thing happen. For years, Leone's was a go-to for a night out. There were always long lines, and tables stayed full because everyone wanted to savor their food. All that only stopped when the main owner, Rose Leone, suffered a serious medical emergency. And with no clear backup plan, her son Michael stepped in to run the restaurant despite having almost no experience. However, he wasn't prepared for the responsibility, and it didn't take long before everything started falling apart.
After Michael took over, the food went to shit. There's no flavor. The taste just wasn't there anymore.
I mean, this place used to be good, and I'm not happy anymore.
When Gordon arrived, the first issue to tackle was the menu, and it was clear that the size of it had gotten a little out of hand.
How many items on the menu?
Over 100.
100?
When it came time to try the food, Ramsay was very disappointed.
How bland is that? Mine's full of grit.
A little spongy.
There's no seasoning in there. Everything's bland. Bland. It's bland. Pasta's bland. Duh. It's like a fucking flip-flop.
Next up was the kitchen check, and it didn't take long for problems to pop up.
Oh my god. Oh shit. This is raw pork. Smell that. Smell it. That's fucking older than me. Oh my god. Is that flounder?
It's definitely old.
It's definitely old. It's green.
Ramsay had seen enough to realize that the place couldn't run like this anymore.
Under no circumstances can we continue to serve food. Shut the place down. Get fucking cleaning. Get it going.
Finally, they began making changes, starting with a simpler menu full of Italian dishes that the kitchen could actually handle. The dining room got a full makeover, giving the restaurant a fresh new vibe. Then the biggest change was getting the owner into real training. Ramsay spent time with Michael, teaching him what it meant to manage the restaurant.
Cook a delicious veal chop and a simple capellini. But I want you to do them with me. You start running your business, okay?
You got it.
Once the relaunch happened, it was clear that things had turned around as customers came back and the feedback was good.
And diners are thrilled with the new menu.
How does everything look?
Very good.
Good?
Yeah. Everyone's loving it. I mean, loving it.
This all went down in 2011 and set high expectations, but the reviews online after the episode aired weren't what you'd expect. One review a year later said, "Our server was thoroughly uninterested in taking our order. As we finished our entree, she asked if we wanted any dessert. We said, 'Not now,' and before we could say anything else, she said, 'Okay, I'll get the check.' Not even thinking if we really did want dessert, but wanted to wait a minute. I thought post-Gordon Ramsay this place would shine, but sadly it's just a dull Italian place I'll probably not frequent again." Along with bad service, the restaurant standards had slipped. In 2014, a reviewer wrote, "If you like wild mice running around your table while you're eating, then this is the perfect place for you. Last night, we were sitting at a back corner table when a mouse decided to join us and was scurrying around the floor next to us. When we brought this to one of the waitresses' attention, she informed us that the mice always come in from the outside of the back room, meaning mice visit the storage room and kitchen daily. They kept it very hush-hush and continued to let the mouse scurry around the dining area. Luckily, we didn't get our meals yet, so we proceeded to leave." Surprisingly, unlike many other places from the show, the restaurant did not close, and it continued operating at the same location under the son's ownership. Over time, Leone settled into a middle ground. It never fully returned to its former glory, but it also avoided collapse. Still, a small win at Leone's didn't prevent ratings from sliding. And next up, another restaurant would face the same problems, just with a few extra surprises in store. Stepping into Bella Luna gave off a strange vibe, and even the manager couldn't deny that it wasn't exactly welcoming.
Bella Luna, personally, I think it looks like a morgue.
The restaurant's decor was bad enough, but the way way the owners ran it made things worse. The thing is, after Gianfranco graduated from culinary school, his mother, Rosaria Scolo, brought Bella Luna to help him start his career. She wanted to give him a shot at running a family business, but soon the challenges became clear.
What kind of background do you have?
I don't have experience of owning my own restaurant. Neither did my son.
So it's easy to see why the restaurant was hanging on by a thread.
I just don't think this is worth coming back to ever.
We're in a state that we don't have much business at all. You know, there's days we gotta close early, there's days we don't open for lunch.
When Ramsay spoke with Rosaria about the food, she sounded pretty confident in a claim she made.
We have to do things. I run a 50 Shades of Grey bingo on a Thursday night.
Say that again?
50 Shades of Grey bingo.
Bingo?
It's adult bingo.
Adult bingo.
Yeah.
But in reality, fresh ingredients were rarely used, while the freezers were stuffed with frozen food. During service, Ramsay discovered a lot more in the kitchen that left him completely disgusted.
Chicken juice. Defrosting chicken in a wash-hand basin full of blood. And then we're prepping it next to a cooked meatball.
Wow, look at that. Lizard in a desert wouldn't eat that. Oh my God. Oh, look at the colour of that. It makes me gag. That is veal. Oh, you dirty bastards.
It got serious enough that Gordon just couldn't let it continue.
Apologise to every customer.
Yes.
I am shutting it down.
Any inconvenience to you wonderful people of this community tonight, but we are shutting it down. We are not worthy to continue this service.
Things then turned around quickly, starting with the dining room being remodeled overnight and a menu being rebuilt around simple Italian food. The moment the relaunch happened, you could tell things were different with satisfied customers.
It's better than my mom's. She's Italian. So good.
Oh, so good. Really good.
This is our first time here, but not our last.
It was a pleasure serving you.
For a little while, it looked like Bella Luna was finally catching on, but unfortunately, it didn't last, and problems started appearing once the hype died down. One online review said, "After all the hoopla with the taping of Kitchen Nightmares, we gave Bella Luna a shot. We chose their buffet so we could try a few different items. Well, it was nothing more than fried frozen food, a few sliced sandwiches and wraps, and a salad, and slices of cheesesteak. Absolutely nothing I couldn't make tastier at home. Gordon, if you're going to dedicate your talent to distressed establishments, please pick ones worth saving." These negative reviews began stacking up online, and before long, Bella Luna's Yelp rating had dropped to a disappointing 2.3 stars. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, state police discovered the restaurant had been serving alcohol with an expired license. All the makeover and attention from Gordon Ramsay's show was supposed to give Bella Luna a fresh start, but instead, everything kept going downhill. The restaurant tried reopening somewhere else, but that plan never took off, and the place closed permanently. Meanwhile, the space went on to house several other Italian spots before becoming a pizza restaurant that is still operating today. Even with a fresh menu and a new look, Bella Luna couldn't turn things around long term, and over in New Jersey, the next restaurant was heading for a similar fate. The Grasshopper Also started as a family-owned Irish spot that did well early on. It was bought by Mitch and Maureen Sandler, along with Maureen's father, Ed Fitzpatrick, who everyone called Chief. With 40 years in the business, Chief knew his stuff and wasn't afraid to put a lot into this restaurant.
How much did it cost to build this?
$3 million to get it going.
Early on, the restaurant was a hit, but that didn't last. A lot of the problems came from the kitchen, which had no real leadership keeping it together. Mitch was meant to run day-to-day operations, but the staff didn't respect him as the one in charge.
Hey, how long does it take to make rice?
The guys don't probably think it's a problem.
I'm surprised they didn't make any rice.
Pero ahí está grabando, ¿qué? Sí, está grabando ahí.
Since no one felt accountable, productivity dropped, and customers always complained about the food.
They didn't say there was a lot of flavor in it.
It is so dry.
He doesn't like this.
When Gordon arrived, the problems were obvious almost immediately, especially once he tasted the food.
Yeah, off to a bad start, unfortunately. It's like someone's pissed in my soup. That's partly the reason why they're not coming back. It's just watery. Damn.
That rough start had him heading straight to the kitchen and storage to check how things were being managed.
Blood from the meat on the mozzarella sticks. Come on, guys. You've got raw meat here, cooked meat, salami, blood in there. Fuck. How can you serve that? It's like it's been left out for days and it's been attacked by cats.
At that point, there was no debate left, so he shut down dinner service on the spot.
I can guarantee you one thing, I am not serving food tonight with that shit in there.
Bad news, folks. Sorry we're not open tonight. There wasn't enough supervision in there.
Everything that was contaminated went straight to the trash, and he made sure the kitchen got a full, deep clean.
Disposed of, scrubbed, washed, cleaned.
The dining room, which felt stuck in another time, was stripped back and rebuilt with lighter colors, better lighting, and a cleaner look. The menu was also rebuilt, since the old one tried to do too much and did none of it well. To make sure the new standards stuck, he brought in a local Irish chef named James.
Hey, Chef. Good to see you. You too. Tomorrow, he's going to work with me and implement a standard here that needs to be put in place to move forward. And by the way, he's not only a chef, he's Irish.
Right after the makeover, the energy shifted positively. The relaunch went smoothly, and customers talked about the food feeling improved. But after filming in 2010, reviews began to tell a different story. People who had enjoyed meals there for years started speaking up with complaints. I ordered a seemingly harmless turkey, ham, and cheese wrap, and something tasted off. I only ended up eating half, and since I couldn't pinpoint what it was that turned me off. Needless to say, apparently half was all I needed. I spent the entire next day throwing up more violently than I have in my whole life. It was the worst food poisoning I've ever experienced, and I can't even think about a turkey wrap without getting insanely nauseous. Another person said, "How disappointing. After being a regular there for over 2 years, I remember why I don't go there on St. Patrick's Day. They charge $2 more per pint than on normal days. Try ordering food. We waited 1.5 hours before 2 corned beef sandwiches were delivered. I'll be spending my money elsewhere going forward." Reviews kept getting worse, and eventually the owners sold the business about 2 years after the show. The space became a tapas restaurant called Segovia Maison, which finally found long-term stability and strong ratings, succeeding where Grasshopper Also could not. While Grasshopper Also's brief recovery didn't last, the next restaurant would prove that a relaunch can be just the beginning of the problem. At first glance, the Prohibition Grille looked like it should have worked, since it had a southern theme, a full dining room setup, and a spot in an area that could support a steady crowd. But the restaurant had plenty of problems that were hard to overlook, especially when it came to how it was run. It was owned by Rishi Brown, a former professional belly dancer who somehow thought her dance experience would translate into running a successful restaurant.
I had no restaurant experience at all, but I felt like if I could run a successful dance company all of these years, surely I could operate a restaurant business.
It didn't help that Rocky, the head chef, was rarely on the line and spent a lot of time away on smoke breaks. With management so hands-off, the place felt all over the place, and diners were always complaining.
It's mushy. Is it? Okay. I've had dishes where I've smelled it, and I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Rocky, the ribs were disgusting.
From the very first service Ramsay saw when he was there, things were going so wrong.
They're supposed to be medium?
Oh, my God. Oh, no, come on. God. What is this?
You'd think the owner would step in, but the night went in a completely unexpected direction.
You are kidding me.
5, 6, 7, and...
Ramsay then took a look at the kitchen, and the state of things was hard to believe.
The meat's cooked and raw on the same shelf.
What is this, guys?
Oh, my God.
It's trout. What is new trout, old trout? Just feel how sticky that is on top. That's the old trout, and that there is the fresh one underneath, right?
Oh, my God.
He told Rishi straight up that she'd been handling things all wrong and that big changes were needed. The first move was to cut down the southern menu and bring in a Northwest-style gastropub menu that fit the kitchen better. This change made it easier for cooks to stay organized and focus on execution instead of juggling too many dishes. Ramsay also went after leadership, convincing the owner to let go of the head chef whose lack of effort had hurt the restaurant.
You know, I've gotten complacent, and I realize that. And sorry it had to come to this.
I'm sorry.
He then brought in Chef Tyler Pelagi to handle the kitchen and make sure the staff knew what they were doing. There was one rule that wasn't up for debate: no more belly dancing.
Put your right hand up.
Yes.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will no longer be hosting belly dancers.
I will no longer be hosting belly dancers.
With those rules in place, the restaurant stepped into its relaunch with a sense of control it didn't have before, and business picked up well.
And for the first time since she opened,
All right, and the salmon for you, my dear.
Rishi truly feels she is in control of her very own restaurant.
I'm so excited that Everett has a restaurant like this. I know.
But over time, things slid back into old patterns as Rishi broke her promise and began belly dancing again during dinner service in early 2016, which brought back the same confusion that had hurt the restaurant before. Soon, online reviews took a hit as one-star ratings popped up more often, and the restaurant dropped to 2.5 on Yelp. One review said, "Wanted to give them another chance since Gordon Ramsay had his hand in their menu. We waited 35 minutes after ordering our burgers to get them, and we were one of 2 tables in the entire restaurant. None of the burgers were cooked as we ordered, burned to a crisp yet also cold in the center, and only 1 of the 3 sides came as ordered." Another said, "The waiter who was on shift while I was there was awful. He definitely hates his job and has no idea what the menu entails. When I asked if the sandwich I ordered came with fries, his response was, 'I don't know,' and he proceeded to take another order at my table. The food was really bad, and even when they took away our plates that were still full of food, no one even wondered if maybe there was an issue." It was clear that even with everything Ramsay had done, standards had fallen and things had only gotten worse than before. Eventually, Prohibition Grille closed in July 2017 after being sold to new owners.